Welcome to Episode 1 of Invasive Investigation. Today we will be taking a deep dive into our Great Lakes and observing the peculiar behaviors of the invasive sea lamprey, as well as the harm they bring to our ecosystem. Did you know that only 1 out of 7 fish can survive a sea lamprey attack? Well, before I get ahead of myself, let's explain what a sea lamprey is exactly. The sea lamprey is a parasitic, jawless and boneless fish native to the Atlantic Ocean. Although they resemble an eel with their body shape and size, they are a fish. Regardless of their lack of bones, these animals breathe through a distinctive row of 7 gill openings behind the mouth, making them easy to identify. Unlike other common species of fish, these creatures have a suction cup-shaped mouth filled with razor-sharp teeth and a sandpaper tongue. They are also known for their incredible sense of smell, due to their well-developed olfactory system. The lamprey has no scales, no fins, and no swim bladder. Correction to my previous sentence, the posterior and anterior dorsal fin are present on the lamprey, however they lack any paired fins on the sides to assist in swimming. Due to their bodily structure, this means their movements are also incredibly similar to that of an eel, typically thrashing their bodies around to swim or simply remaining still for an extended period of time. All sea lamprey life begins as larvae in freshwater streams. They will then spend several years as filter-feeding larvae before transforming into parasitic adults and living their life as parasites for 1 to 2 years. After their parasitic phase is complete, they've reached their full adult potential. They will then return to a freshwater stream and begin building nests. Then they will lay their eggs after spawning. Typically after spawning, the adult sea lamprey will die due to the violent mating process. In 10 to 12 days, their spawn will emerge from the riverbed and the cycle will continue. Now that you know a little bit more about the sea lamprey, let's discuss their diet. It's hard not to be hungry with a mouth like that, and the sea lamprey's diet reflects it. The Great Lakes are like a feast to the sea lamprey. Your average sea lamprey can consume over 40 pounds of fish in a year. The sea lamprey suctions itself to the surface of varying fish species, where it then uses its tongue to drill into the flesh of the fish. Their teeth then latch into the flesh, leaving a cookie-cutter-like shape. This type of bite leaves the fish incredibly prone to infection or susceptible to attacks by other animals. This terrifying behavior has resulted in significant damage to the Ohio fishing industry. The rapid breeding and insatiable appetite leave our lakes at risk, as many native species such as the lake trout and whitefish fall victim to the parasitic feeding habits of the sea lamprey. Then, this leads to the population declines and disruptions in the balance of the aquatic food web. Not only do they present a threat to our lakes, they wreak havoc on Ohio's fisheries. These fisheries contain hundreds of thousands of trout, whitefish, salmon, and walleye, essentially creating an all-you-can-eat buffet for the lamprey that find their way into these fisheries. These fish are all crucial to the economic health of our fishing industry, as they are all commonly sold for human consumption. Trout and salmon are also notoriously known to be difficult to farm without the added challenge of sea lamprey attacks, on top of the fact that they are very valuable within the grocery industry. Fish populations drop dramatically, and due to the specific breeding seasons and climates many of these fish require, returning the population count to normal proves impossible. Infections from lamprey wounds can also spread to other fish that have not been attacked, especially within confined areas like these fish farms. In regards to traps, they are strategically placed and installed at constricted points within tributaries to catch the juveniles headed towards open bodies of water, where they would then begin feeding. It is important that the spread of sea lamprey is kept to an absolute minimum, so expensive applications like this are just a necessity. Any current inhabitants seen while fishing should be terminated to restore the balance of our local ecosystem and our waterways. Thank you very much for listening to the first episode of Invasive Investigation.